My wife and I got married in June 2021. We dated for 2 years as she claimed that her previous relationship was toxic and there was infidelity on her part, which she rationalized as he was abusive. I was a fool to believe her. During the time we dated till we got married, my wife had mentioned the idea of involving other people in our intimate life. She also emphasized that this should be based on complete honesty and openness between us, with our relationship and marriage being the most important thing. However, I wasn't comfortable with the idea, and I told her that I wasn't ready for it. At some point, we found a compromise. She confided in me that she was attracted to another woman and wanted to be with her while I watched. Until then, I thought it was all just a fantasy. But then, I saw text messages between my wife and the other woman, and I realized that she was serious. Even though I wasn't really interested in it, I agreed to let her go through with it, thinking it might help her get it out of her system. So this other woman came to our house, and they were intimate in our bed while I watched. I want to clarify that I didn't record anything or participate in any other way. I simply observed. After that experience, I thought that would be the extent of our open relationship, and I assumed that she wouldn't do it again. On January 22nd, 2022, I got a big surprise when my wife confessed to having an affair. I later learned that she only confessed because the wife of the person she had an affair with found out about it. She had to tell me to try to control the situation. I was completely shocked and caught off guard by this revelation. To understand the situation better, I reached out to the wife of the person my wife had an affair with. She showed me WhatsApp messages she had obtained from snooping her husband's phone, who happened to be my wife's co-worker. The messages revealed some shocking details. It turns out that my wife initiated the affair back in December 14, 2021. She approached her co-worker, who had shown interest in her in the past, and she asked him if my husband was okay with it. Are you interested in casual sex? She never mentioned this to me. The co-worker was interested, and their affair continued through text messages and WhatsApp conversation that happened every few days. In these WhatsApp messages, my wife even mentioned disabling notification to make sure I wouldn't see them. I am aware of a total of 12 times when they interacted regarding the affair. Most of their interactions were through text messages, where they talked about how attractive they found each other. He wanted to keep this secret from me. Interestingly, in her messages, she mentioned that she loves me and doesn't want to hurt me. She also felt the need to tell me, perhaps to involve me in some way. I suspect that she had deleted some text messages and hasn't been completely honest about their content. I am considering using software to recover deleted messages on her updated iPhone. I am not sure if this is a good idea though. Do you have any recommendation for such software? Apart from texting, they met up once outside of work for a hike. She insists that all they did was kiss on the cheek. This is a significant betrayal for me because hiking is something I introduced her to, and it holds a special place in our relationship. However, I am unsure if I can trust her claim that they only kissed on the cheek. In response to my request, she agreed to get an STI test done. It's essential to ensure our health, given the circumstances. Additionally, it's worth noting that her workplace has surveillance cameras, and 2 days before the day I found out about the affair, she asked him to find a location where the camera won't capture their interactions. Since the day I found out about the affair, we have been avoiding each other. We have spent a few nights away from our apartments, staying with friends, so that I don't have to see her. On the night we did spend in our apartment, we slept in separate bedrooms. She had said she's sorry, but I feel like it's more sorry about being caught than about the hurt she's caused me. If the other person's spouse hadn't discovered the affair, I believe she wouldn't have confessed. However, she disagreed with this and told me she hoped to involve him in our marriage somehow. I can't imagine a scenario where I would be okay with another man being involved with my wife in that way. It doesn't seem like she really thought about what I'm going through. She appears to be focused on preventing her own life from falling apart. In contrast, I have been seeing a therapist nearly every day, seeking support from my friends and trying to remind myself that I am a valuable person and not alone in this difficult situation. When I told my wife that I am consulting a lawyer because of our situation, she involved her sister and 2 friends I used to have a good relationship with her sister, but it turns out that they were aware of her affair. Her sister spent the holiday with us, and from my perspective, she seemed to be part of what was happening, even though my wife claimed that everyone advised her to tell me and that her actions were risky. Her sister stayed in my house for 3 weeks and lied to me every day. My wife insists that I know everything about the affair, but I find it hard to believe her, and I'm not sure I ever will. I will never comprehend how she could start an affair only 6 months into our marriage. It's clear that she was the one who initiated and pursued the other man every time they interacted. Everything is still very fresh, and my emotions are all over the place. Sometimes I feel like I'm bouncing between different feelings rapidly, and at other times, I feel so distant that it's like I'm not really here. I'm definitely going to file for a divorce, but I don't think I have fully processed all the information yet. On the other hand, my wife, who strayed from our relationship, is considering couples counseling. I am not sure if that would be helpful, and I worry it might be a waste of money. Her selfishness has been a recurring issue in our marriage, not just related to this affair. She said this to me many times, but it often feels like she's just repeating words without real meaning. I'm feeling a lot of things right now: anger, sadness, confusion, betrayal, and a profound sense of powerlessness. Above all, I am in pain. Regarding the discussion about an open relationship, she brought it up multiple times and seemed enthusiastic about it. We explored various ideas, like me being with other women and her being with other women. I thought it was just a playful fantasy we shared, where we talked about threesomes, swinging, and casual encounters. As I am writing this now, it makes me feel sick. But at the time, it seemed like a fun and light-hearted way for us to connect and explore together. I had no idea she was taking it so seriously, and now I see it in completely different light. Most of what I understood about her fantasy revolved around women, not men. We even explored this together once, where she was with another woman. We had talked about it for years, and I was supportive of it back then. However, I have come to realize that I don't want a marriage where I have to share my wife with others. This is clearer to me now than anything else. For some context about her, I know one other instance where she cheated. It happened in her previous relationship before me that was already falling apart, which she described as a loveless and marked with physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. Or at least, that's what she believes. She used the abuse as an excuse for cheating, and she always spoke about it with a lot of shame. I used to believe that she genuinely feels that shame, but now, this situation raises many questions for me. I have reached out to a lawyer to explore the possibility of getting a divorce. We don't have any shared assets, and we don't have children together. I guess I can't be absolutely sure if she cheated before. I want to believe she hasn't, but right now, I am struggling to trust anything. Both of us have been in individual counseling for several years, and it has made a significant positive difference in our lives. She mentioned that she told her counselor about the affair, and I am skeptical about her counselor's effectiveness and judgment because they didn't seem to press her further on this issue. But maybe that's just a way for her to blame someone else, someone I don't care as much about. I think she's trying to paint me as an abuser because during a heated phone conversation 2 days ago, I said some hurtful things in anger. This led to things getting more intense, and she said she left because she didn't feel safe around me. This was painful, and it seems like a tactic to shift blame onto me, especially since she knew I was considering divorce. It's like she went into self-defense mode instead of reflecting on her own actions. I realized that I didn't have to, but I reached out to her ex-boyfriend to verify her claim of physical abuse. He denied it and told me that my wife had cheated on him too. Just like in my case, she had accused him of physical abuse. He shared a lot of information about their relationship and some other warning signs that helped explain her behavior today. I know I shouldn't take his words at face value, but I also have doubts about her honesty. Maybe I was just seeking more support to go ahead with the divorce. After I told her that I was moving forward with the divorce, she brought her sister to pick up her belongings last week. Suddenly, she started acting as if I had been physically abusive and she needed protection around me. To protect myself, I decided to start recording everything when I'm around her because I'm worried she might accuse me of physical abuse, just like she did to her ex-boyfriend. I have already completed the divorce paperwork with the lawyer, and I am serving her with the divorce paper next week. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. Please don't forget to support the channel by liking and subscribing. Also, let's get some reaction in the comment section. Thank you.